Hello, world. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is the Rex Arthur Show where we discuss LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ approach and an LGBTQ perspective in an LGBTQ plus planet where each and every one of us belongs to one or two letters in the 10-letter sexual alphabet. And today we're going to discuss about LGBTQ language and stereotypes, but mostly stereotypes, because very many people confuse. I noticed this confusion when we were on Twitter during the time when we were discussing the decriminalization case in Kenya, that's happening in Kenya right now. And okay, we have something to do there. That's happening in Kenya right now, and I want us to look for something. Oops, sorry. Let me go back to the page. There's a page I'm looking for. So we were discussing with people on Twitter, and it was very funny. People were making comments about. Sorry, I've decided to relax. I really talked a lot, so it drained me a bit. So I have decided just to take a laid back position. Now I want us to go through. Okay, that's where I was going. Thank you, and we are gonna get another story. And this was about, of course, you can see these quotes here. We serve Kenyans that build Kenya deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. And do you know that the blowjob that you like so much can get you 14 years in jail time? So, and I also posted something, and I think that's where we're gonna sleep. That's where we're gonna sleep and finish the story. Where did I post it? I think I posted it on Twitter. So that's where we'll go. Sorry, because I'm outside, I can't access my usual what do you call it, pictures, but don't worry, I will get the folder. And you see, I read a lot. I have a lot of things on my phone, so don't worry. I have very many pictures. Yes, I also watch pornography. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's Twitter. Yes, let's see if I have what I posted on Twitter. No, it's not there. I think I've remembered where it is. It's screenshots. Yes, that's where I posted things. Good. So I like doing shooting. And I screenshot something wonderful. I can see this is from Twitter. Let me see how it goes. Okay, I was enjoying these friends of mine. They were the court. Very nice. I'm looking for something. Sorry about that. They are my nice pictures I collect whenever I get time. Okay, where did I put that thing? Where are you? How did I do it? I think I need it from... I'll have to get it from Twitter. Anyway, I can't get it right now, so I will get it from my documents. And my documents, let's go through my documents. it should be penal code. The beauty of this app is you can show you what people are doing. You know, they have Kenya mental health, Kenya blah blah blah. Let's look at another place, downloads. Okay, hopefully I'll get what I want. Did I really throw it? Oh my goodness. Anyway, look at my things. As we are looking for this document, we have to okay, I don't see it. I wanted it to be on the screen so that we can have a nice discussion as we're looking at it. Let me try one more time and see if it's going to work. Okay, we can try this, LGBT rights in Africa, and we keep it there. But I really wanted the what do you call it? I wanted the law, the Kenyan law that's against against homosexuality. So let's keep it here. This is from Wikipedia. I liked it very much. LGBT rights in Africa. They had a very good table, and it showed you countries where they are. Okay. Now I think I've regained my strength. Now, the Kenyan law said something very nice that made me very happy. Even though the law is bad, there was something that made me happy. It said any person who commits, who knows somebody, who does a carnal knowledge of another person against the order of nature, would have committed an offense. So the most important part of that law is any person. It does not say an LGBTQ person, neither does it say a straight person. It says any person. And that's very, very important, because it means that the law is not just looking for LGBTQ persons, it's looking for any person that has sex in a very weird way, because alternative sexual practices are seen to be weird. They are queer. It's just queer sex. Queer sex means having sex in parts which will not lead to reproduction, but they give you pleasure. You see, it's not that they're going to lead you to reproduction, it's that they give you pleasure. They create pleasure. And so the colonialists only wanted reproductive sex. That's all they wanted. And sometimes it sounds like they were a fertility cult, because fertility cults, and for information, fertility cults don't even want reproduction. They just want sex. Yes, fertility cults sex must happen, because when you have sex with a temple prostitute, you get blessings. That's how it used to happen in the Corinth and in very many ancient sex temples of the world. And so fertility, the colonialist was just very anti-fertility cult. It was very anti-sexual, the colonial, especially the British colonial system, because they believed sex was bad, and even heterosexual sex, they didn't like it. It's just that it only happens to have children. And this was based on their literal interpretation of the Bible, because the Bible, especially in the New Testament, is so much concerned about sex. Like telling people, flee away from fornication, We can even do it right now. Let's go to my Strong's concordance. I have a strong concordance. Strong concordance means it's a dictionary that helps you to know the Bible words in the Bible. Now, let's look at the word fornication. Fornication appears 36 times in the Bible, occurs in 32 verses. Now look at the Old Testament. Fornication appears only 4 times. Second Chronicles, Isaiah and Ezekiel. Now look, so 2 plus 2 is 4. So 36 minus 4. 32 times in the New Testament. See? And look at the 1 Corinthians. This was the sex in the city. Corinth was the sex city of the world at that time. Look at how many times Paul talks about fornication. 5 times. Look at Revelation. My God, John feared it like nothing. 10 times in the book of Revelation. So, in fact, John, to me, I think John was very anti-sexual. Yes, he was anti-sexual. Because the reason, he even has a concept of male virgins, that there are some males who didn't sleep with women, which is okay. There are men who don't sleep with women. Yes, that one is normal. They are gay. So that is what John was talking about, that they were men who have not slept with women, and they are the 144,000. And that's what, but basically I think my interpretation of the story of John is it's basically men. There are men who don't sleep with women. I believe John did not sleep with a woman. Yes, I believe he was a single man. He died single, and he had tendencies of being a gay man because he liked lying on Jesus' chest. Yes, let's go and find out about John. On again, bosom. So we find bosom is said very many times, and then when you come to the book of John, now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. It is very specific that this disciple that laid on Jesus' chest was the one Jesus loved. And the word love is the agapeo. So Jesus loved John so much. Of course, John is the one who wrote it here. Now let's come to another guy. You see the beggar? The beggar went to Abraham's bosom. They were carried. Okay, so what I was trying to find out is whether it's only John who wrote about this bosom body. And the word is by analogy bay and bosom. I want to see where it has been used again. Interesting. So anyway, back to fornication. So fornication is used by in the New Testament. Is too much. So when Christianity was preached to places like Britain, Germany, many European countries, these guys literally took it very seriously, and that's how anti-sexuality grew. Anti-sexuality was very common after the Christian church was set up, because people wanted to be holy. They wanted to go to heaven, and it was like, if you don't have sex, you will go to heaven. And it's a very dangerous teaching, because it makes people not enjoy sex, not enjoy love, not enjoy love making. And which is wrong. That's why, as I told you, people need to understand that we should not attack anybody who is having sex with anybody, especially adults. There is nothing wrong with that, whether it's homosexuality or heterosexuality. Yes, people should be free, because sex is very recuperating. Even masturbation is very okay. But there are some religions that really fight sex, be it homosexual or heterosexual, or even masturbation. Those are anti-sexual religions, and they have a very bad effect on legal systems. And this is what happened to Britain. Britain took up their anti-sexual stance, and they made very many laws against very many sexual acts. Even women were circumcised in Britain to stop them from masturbating. It was that serious, because they knew the clitoris is the place that gives a woman joy. So they chopped the clitoris. You're joking with Britain. It was thoroughly brainwashed in New Testament Christianity, Puritan Christianity, that forced them to hate sex. Yes, and it was a sad event, and it happened. You see, that's why always understand, today, what I'm doing today is a history-making event. Right now, I may not feel its power, but in 30 years' time, someone will not forget this video, and I will be known for this. You see, that's why take serious every day of your life. Do something great in the day of your life. Yes. Get involved in a protest. I remember talking to my friend of mine, and as we were doing the Kenyan, the decriminalization of homosexuality case, I told him, go to the court. Do your best to go, you know? And yes, go and be part of history. Because in 30 years' time, people will look at you, they'll see your picture and say, wow, who is this guy? You mean he was also part of the community? And then when you're still alive, you'll say, yes, I remember that day. You see, you cannot say that you are gay and you're not even part of anything. You're not in the community, you're not there, you're not talking. People will question. They will say, where is the evidence that you are in the community fighting? Yeah. So be part of history. Stand for your rights. Come out, you know. Let people know who you are. Yes, who wants to attack you for saying who you are? Come out. So why is it important? You are a history maker. Yes, you are a history maker. So come out, make history. So that's the problem Britain had. And you see, the problem of laws shape culture. You see, laws shape culture. And sometimes, of course, people would say, never forget the lawyer's proverb. For every general rule, there's an exception. So it's not always true that laws shape culture. There are some exceptions. Like Israel never kept the laws they made, simply because they were not good laws. They were very basic. They were not clear. So that's what you need to understand about Israeli law. And there was no policewoman. No one was a police. Yes, the closest person to the police was the priests, the Levites. And priests, not just Levites. Priests. You go to the temple. The temple was the police station. So that's what you need to understand about Israel. And anyway, even if they had a temple, they were all breaking the law. So laws did not shape the culture, because the culture Moses wanted to create was a culture of worshiping one God. It didn't happen. People worshipped gods despite the law of Moses. So Israelis are that stubborn, which is good. I love them for that. They are wise, because these laws are not making sense. So that's what happens in some countries. Like most of the anti-homosexuality laws are not enforced. It's because it can't be. It can't. It's just, it can't. You know? That's what you need to understand. And so I was, that's what they were telling people. But just because it can't, for the sake of law and order, it's good to remove such laws. That's why Britain also removed their anti-homosexuality laws. And it took time. And this is what I always tell LGBT Africans. Take your time. Be part of the movement and know that we won't get victory at very fast. Whether we get it fast or slow is not the issue. The issue is that you are fighting for your rights and fighting for your life. That's why I do videos. It's because I'm fighting for my life. I enjoy it. I know what I'm doing. I have a dream that I will be able to live my gay life the way I want to. So this is part of me building that life to get there. So I'm very happy. I struggle, I try. I'm rejected by many people, but it's part of the process. It's part of the life. Yes, Martin Luther King was rejected. You know, Gandhi was rejected. Malcolm X rejected. Yes, everybody wants to fight something and fight for their rights. So we are all like that, you know. And gays have to, and you know, the best people to fight for their rights is you yourself. Was Martin Luther King Jr. a white man? No, he's a black man. He knew what the black people are going through because he's black. That's what you need to understand. Was Gandhi a white man or a black man in India? No, he was an Indian. That's why he fought for the Indian independence. Because he was an Indian, he knew what Indians are going through. Marsha Johnson, the trans who fought, and Sylvia Rivera, you know, Marsha P. Johnson, the black trans woman, and Sylvia Rivera, another trans, of course, maybe transvestite. They fought for gay rights. Why? They're in the LGBT community. So they were not straight women. These were transes who were having sex with men. Or gay. They were gay or trans. You know, the line is a bit blurry because that was how it was in the 70s and 80s. So they fought. So what am I trying to say? The people who suffer oppression fight that oppression. So we fight people, or we stand for our rights. You know, these days we don't want to sound very violent. So we stand for our rights because we are connected to those rights. So anyway, now let's finish this video. I was just trying to tell you now, because of the any person, and because of the anti-sexuality in the British colonial system that spoiled a lot of sexual cultures in the world where they conquered, people did not understand laws, and like the laws, even, you know, the colonial law that Kenya is fighting. Ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. I hear it's 89 years old. So that means it was enacted in 1920. It was enacted in 1920. Do you know what was happening in 1920? The black people did not even have, they were not recognized as citizens of Kenya. Think about that. That means the law was there, but it was not even, they were not even thinking about blacks. They were thinking about the whites who could be involved in gay sex. Yes, because the whites were living in Kenya that time. And so what am I trying to show you? I'm trying to show you that the law is not Kenyan. It's not. It's not. And that's what I'm pleading with the black Africans. those are laws that were not yours. Why are you holding on to them as if they are yours? Why are you custodian of a law that is not yours? Moreover, a bad law. You can keep a good law from the West. It's okay. But not a law like that one. It is really sad. And that's what I'm saying. So now I want us to finish the video, because the main part was that any person who commits carnal knowledge against the order of nature has committed an offense. And any person, meaning the person can be the act. The law is not attacking the person. It's attacking the act the person has committed. That's what you need to understand. And there's a very wrong statement by Christians. They say, love the sinner but hate the sin. It doesn't make sense, because the sinner is the sinner because of the sin. You see? So if you hate the sin, you actually hate the sinner. Yes. If you hate the sin, you hate the sinner, because the sinner is the sinner because of the sin. If you remove the sin, he is no longer a sinner. So that's what people need to understand. That it's wrong to say that you love the sinner. You don't love the sinner if you want him to be criminalized for what he has done. Gay people are born. Transgenders are born. Yes, they are born. So understand, because they are born, they are not sinners. Is a blind person a sinner? That's what they asked Jesus. That this man was born blind, is it because of sin? And Jesus said, no way. It's the glory of God. So even gay people are like that because of the glory of God. It's to show us the image of God. Did you know Jesus Christ said that when you go to the prison and you visit a prisoner, you have visited him? So what does that mean? The prisoners in prison are Jesus. The naked person on the street are Jesus. The poor person on the street is Jesus. Jesus is everywhere. The gay person you hate, he's Jesus. That's the philosophy of Jesus. Jesus is a universalist. Everywhere you see Jesus, every person is Jesus. Every person is God. That's why Paul said, God is in us all and through all. It's as simple as that. This system is controlled by a computer called God. He knows the future, he knows the past, he knows the present, but he knows the future. That's what you need to know. It is a fact. I was even telling someone, I think I'll do this in the theological channel. God is, the power of Satan is God's power. Yeah, Satan didn't create himself. According to Christianity, the power of Satan is God's power. Yes. Satan does whatever he does because of God. He's using God's power. Because if God would have destroyed him long time ago. Simple. The demons, they are using the power of God. So what am I trying to tell you? When you see a blind child, that is the glory of God. It's the power of God. When you see a gay person, that is the power of God. It's the glory of God. When you see a very disabled child, even, very disabled, that's the glory of God. I know this is very hard to understand, but it's the reality. This is why we have human rights. Human rights are given to all humans. All. Even a prisoner. You see the human rights movement? Brilliant. They are gods. Brilliant people. UN, brilliant. They knew everybody's a human. You see, UN was created after the worst atrocities happened to humankind, to gay people and to Jews. That's what people need to understand. That's why we are always checking on nationalism, because nationalism is very dangerous. It's not bad, but it can lead to Nazism, because somebody is going to feel he's proud, he's better than another person. Nationalism is the same as racism. It's superiority, that we are great. Yes, it's very, very, very tempting. We are greater than you. So because of that, because I'm greater than you, I can crush you. You see, that is nationalism. That's what happened in Germany. Hitler was just telling people, you guys, we are better. We are better. We are even supermen. That's what he said. Obermenschen, actually. And within a short time, they killed Jews, because Jews were seen as subclass. They were lower class. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So whenever you see the Obermenschen theory rising, be careful. You calm it down. So we have UN. UN is the policeman of the world. And when they see that, they come and alert. Like Guterres had said that recently, the Secretary General of the UN, that nationalism is rising in the world, and it's a worrying trend. And contrary to what Pope Benedict said about UN, that it's a toothless dog, I kind of understand how UN deals with issues. It's very hard to fight nationalism by force. Yes, you can really even have war. So there's a way you do it. You have to have a lot of dialogues, a lot of teaching, a lot of engaging with governments that tend to be very nationalistic. Yes, that have a lot of pride, too much pride. Pride is not bad, but pride that means I will even crush you is not good. Yes, so all of that, I think UN, I'm happy with how they do it. They deal with it very well, and what I mean by well, they are taking it very slow. However, I am of the view that the mental health practitioners need to look at political views and whether they are connected to mental disorders, because I think some people are mentally disordered, and this is evident by their political views. Like in my Facebook of the gay pastor or Aquarian pastor, I discussed about the differences between the conservatives and liberals. Many conservatives have bigger amygdalas. Amygdala is a part of the brain where fear is processed. So Republicans have, conservatives, most of them have a very big amygdala compared to liberals. And it's because of ignorance. Yes, when you are ignorant, you'll have a very big amygdala. When you fear a lot, you'll have a big amygdala. And can you imagine, their brains have them bigger? It's unbelievable. And to be a conservative, all you need is data, religion. You see? So that's what you need to understand, what is happening in the world today. And so what I was trying to say is, slowly but surely, the mental health practitioners need to face these things like homophobia, things like racism, things like which are the transphobia. They should be called mental disorders. How will you tell someone is a mental disorder if the person doesn't? You've explained to him homosexuality and he still doesn't understand. That one is a gone case. That's my view. That's how I deal with homophobes today. If I've explained to you homosexuality and you still don't understand, and I keep on telling you, I think you have a mental problem. Yes, that's my stance. So anyway, I want to finish the video this way. It was just one sentence actually, and the sentence was that any person means makes you be an identity. How you get your identity, your sexual identity, is what you do. That's what you need to understand. So if you are a man and you sleep with a man, you have sex with a man, whether it's oral or anal sex, even frottage, even masturbation, you are gay. Yes, that is a fact. If you're a woman and you have sex with a woman, yes, if you're a woman and have sex with a woman, you are a lesbian. Whether you call yourself a woman and you don't want to be called a lesbian, it's okay. But according to language, you are a lesbian. And like we have these MSM organizations, men having sex with men. They call them MSM because not all men who have sex with each other are gay. So there are some gay men. The men are divided. There are gay men, there are bisexual men, and there are straight men. Now, an MSM organization is filled with bisexuals and gay men, not straight men. The moment a straight man has sex with a man, he becomes a bisexual. And then, if he continually has sex with a man, he may even end up being called gay. This is what happened to Elton John. Elton John had a wife. And when he came out as gay, he was gay, even when he married. But because of society, he was a very famous musician. So he wanted to hide his sexuality. But the marriage didn't work because he was gay. So he left the wife, and then he got a guy and got married to the guy. And now you don't even call him bisexual, he's gay, because he has continually stayed in the relationship with a man. So that's why the term gay and bisexual is interchangeable depending on your behavior. So that's what happened to Elton John. He's gay, even though he started out as a bisexual because he married. Now, most women are bisexuals because they even have children and they stay with the men they have. But men tend to be more, even if they are bi, they will never tell you they are bi. Yes, it's a fact. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that any person, when you engage in sex, yes, and even not even sex, another thing someone will say, what about a man who just masturbates? What's his sexual orientation? If the man masturbates over gay porn, he's gay. Yes, he's gay. If a man is attracted to another man and he tells a man, I love you, he's gay. Even before they've had sex, because it's attraction. So the problem of sexuality is that sexuality involves a lot of activities. It involves attraction, it involves sex, it involves appreciation, it involves emotional connection, and things like gay sex. The reason why we have MSM organizations is because gay sex, especially men-to-men sex, is not necessarily about emotional connection, because emotional connection means you're going to stay with this person for a very long time. And so most men have sex because of the moment, and they're actually gay. Yes, they are actually gay because they just have sex. So, and gay sex is very erotic. You see, that's why people watch porn. Yes, erotic, it's love. And erotic love is love. I always argue with my gay friends, some of them. They don't understand that. They think sex is not love. Sex is love. Yes, it's love. That's why it's called making love. So you don't attack erotic sex. Why do prostitutes wear skimpy things? It's because they know you will have sex, you will make love to someone who is skimpy. They are attracting you to go and sleep with them. It's as simple as that. So that's what people need to know. So you have to understand something. So now, because the law is saying any person, it will affect everybody who has oral sex, anal sex, frottage, and other sexual practices, even maybe masturbation. Yeah, because you can have mutual masturbation, and that one is also against the law. So just look at how many people in the past, when this law was there, very many people thought that the law is only against homosexuals. No, it's not against homosexuals. It's against any person who has anal sex or oral sex or other sex other than penile vaginal sex. So look at how many people are being attacked by the law in the country of Kenya. Everybody who has done oral sex, anal sex, frottage. Yes, see how bad that law was? It's that bad. So that's what you need to understand. When we are fighting that law, it is everybody. It is affecting everybody, especially everybody who has done that sex. Because straight people have anal sex with the opposite sex. That's what I had to clear. This is about language. I had to clear that. A straight person is a person who has sex with the opposite sex. But the moment that straight person has sex with the same sex, they become bisexual. And if they continue having sex with the same sex, they will be gay. Yes, that is a fact. Because continuum, sexual continuity is a part, because humans change. Some humans feel like, today I want to be an asexual. Yes, it's sexual fluidity. We are all sexually fluid. And there are some of us, we remain forever in one sexual orientation. It's normal. It's normal. Don't attack people who are forever what they are. And neither do you attack people who are forever changing. Yes, there are people like that. It's life. Sexual continuity is part of nature. Because as human beings, we have very complicated lives. Some people become asexual because of HIV. Yeah, HIV is present. So because it's present, they stop having sex. Yeah. They fear contracting HIV. So they stop having sex. And then they used to be gay, but now they are sexual. They stopped having sex. So may I respect you? I respect you. I can't attack you. But don't attack somebody who is having sex. Yes. People who have sex, they are all consenting humans. So they know what they are doing. Leave them alone. Let them do their life. That's what they want. Because not everybody is asexual. And you can't make everybody asexual. It's wrong. It's madness. Control freaks are mad. They're just mad people. So that's what you need to understand. Now, like even a woman, they are lesbians. They were lesbians when they were young. And then, because they now have children, they become bisexual. Yes. That's what you need to understand. And then in some cases, some lesbians marry men and they remain lesbian. Yes, this is what you call the mixed orientation relationships. I call them MOR, or the mixed orientation marriages, MOM. I call them that. It's a new trend in America. Do you know the law has not yet covered that issue in America? It's happening. A lesbian can marry a pansexual. And the pansexual happens to be a woman. You see, there's no law that is governing that. However, the law that is governing it, which I think is helping, and that's why they are not rushing to do it, is the same-sex marriage. Because irrespective of whether the woman you're marrying is a pansexual or not, the law has allowed men to marry men and women to marry women. So what does this mean? Even if you marry a woman, you're a woman and you marry a woman who is a pansexual, it means nothing. The sexual orientation identity is just a sub identity. It's not a major identity. The major identity is the lesbian gay identity, because that one is the basis that allows same-sex marriage. So there are two types of marriages forever. There is the heterosexual marriage and the homosexual marriage forever. So I don't think America needs a law. I used to think they needed a law for the mixed orientation marriages. They don't need it, because when you marry, maybe they'll say about non-binary. No, they won't, because sexual identity is defined according to the sexual organs you have. So if you have a penis, even if you're non-binary, you'll be the law calls you a man. And if you are a woman and you have a vagina and a penis, you are an intersex person. Now, when you get married, what happens to you? You see, so that's what you need to understand. That's why New York changed the law and have given anybody who is in between the sexual identity bracket is a third sex, which is the best identity. Now, the issue is going to be they will have to have a law that governs third sex marriages, where an intersex person marries somebody who is gay. See, that's a mixed orientation marriage. So all of this is happening. It's an exciting world we're living in. It's very complicated, but we are solving all of these issues. So the stereotypes are falling down, and they are yes, that's what you need to understand. Humans are unique. Someone was telling me that gay men must hate women. No, there are some gay men who don't hate women. Yeah, they're there. They're there. So don't think that every gay man hates a woman. No. In fact, most gay men are close to their mothers. Yes, that's what you need to understand. And it's for a big reason. It's because most gay men are feminine. That's why they like masculine men. It's because they are feminine. It's the feminine spirit in them that makes them act like women. Yes, that's what we need to understand. So don't go there bashing gay men because they are like women. No, they have the feminine particle, majority of them, and they are gay men who are masculine. I've been studying the rural Africa, and I've realized if you find a gay man in the rural world, he's very masculine. For one reason, they spend so much time with men. As men, they spent a lot of time with men. They played with each other's parts, so they tend to be macho. But the city, in African cities, the gay men tend to be very feminine for one reason. The life in the city is dominated by single mothers or dominant mothers. And so the feminine particle, we are all intersex. We all have a masculine particle and a feminine particle. And our parents build those particles. Now, sometimes, and it's very weird, we need to do research about this, that a mother can build your masculine particle and a father can build your feminine particle. So contrary to belief, people will think that your father builds your masculine and your mother builds your feminine. No. Sometimes, even if the feminine particle came from your mother, it's your father who can build it. It's beautiful. Science. Wow, that's a thought that has just come right now. So we will do that research. So I noticed that the city, of course, not that it's true. There are also rural gays who are feminine, but majority of those who we find are macho, it's because they spend a lot of time with men. That's why they are macho. And the ones who are feminine tend to be had spent a lot of time with women. They are gay, but they spend a lot of time with women. So they end up rubbing and feeling very feminine. Then you have the others who are neutered. These ones, they have a balance between the masculine and feminine. And what I tell people, don't attack anybody who is too macho or too femme or a balance of the same. Yeah, enjoy the life. Look at the weather, it's so nice. You can see. Enjoy the life, and that's what you need to know. So stereotypes are being dropped, and understand that when you are fighting an anti-homosexuality law, it is not only a law affecting LGBTQ persons, it's affecting even those who perform those sexual acts and they don't call themselves LGBTQ. All right, see you.